As a State of California employee, you are entitled to Employee Assistance Program or EAP benefits. EAP is brought to you by Managed Health Network or MHN, which has been providing EAP services for more than 20 years. In this video, we will tell you exactly what EAP is and how you can most effectively use it. The EAP covers a broad range of services that are provided by highly trained and certified specialists such as psychologists, social workers, financial counselors, and licensed attorneys. EAP services are always confidential. You can access EAP by a toll-free telephone number or going to our website. This makes EAP services very easy to use. EAP is a free, voluntary program paid for by the State of California for its employees. EAP services are strictly confidential and governed by state and federal law. No reports are made to the employer except aggregate utilization reports that don't identify individuals. And no reports are made to supervisors without the employee's written consent. The legal exceptions to confidentiality are the same as those that guide all clinicians. If a member expresses a plausible suicidal or homicidal intent, or the intent to commit child or elder abuse, then the clinician is bound by law to notify authorities. Additionally, if the clinician receives a court order or subpoena requiring him or her to reveal otherwise confidential information, the clinician must comply.
Those eligible for EAP include all active state employees, their lawful spouse, and unmarried dependent children. Dependent children are natural, adopted, or stepchildren under age 23. However, if a child is incapable of self-sustaining employment due to mental or physical disability, he or she is considered a dependent at any age. Beginning January 1st, 2005, registered domestic partners will also be eligible for EAP. Dependent children in the military are not eligible. The State of California has 3 employment categories and 3 different benefit designs. It is important to know which category you're in so you receive the appropriate benefit. Please review your benefit flyer or contact your EAP coordinator if you have questions about your benefit level. Employment category and benefit level 1 includes employees in bargaining units 5 and 7 and all exempt managerial, supervisory, and confidential employees of the California Highway Patrol, employees, managers, supervisors, and confidential employees in bargaining units 6, 7, and 8, and seasonal and intermittent firefighters. This group gets 7 clinical counseling sessions per problem type per year for both the employee and spouse individually. Dependent children in the family may share 7 clinical counseling sessions per problem type per year. Employment category and benefit level 2 includes all CHP not previously mentioned, specifically Forestry and Fire Protection, Department of Corrections, Board of Prison Terms, Prison Industry Authority, the Youth Authority, Youth Offender Parole Board, and the Youth and Adult Correctional Agency. This group is entitled to 3 sessions per problem type, total, shared between the employee, spouse, and dependent children. Employment category and level 3 is for all other State of California employees. This group receives 3 sessions total for the employee and 3 sessions total for the spouse and dependent children combined. As I mentioned, some benefit levels get a specific number of visits per problem type. There are 4 problem types for clinical services. They are substance abuse, alcohol abuse, marital and family issues, and emotional and personal stress.
Many employees may not want or need clinical counseling, but could use some help with daily life issues. To meet these needs, EAP offers work and life services, which include legal financial consultation, child and elder care consultation, and more. Keep in mind that these services do not count towards your per problem type sessions.
The legal benefit of EAP includes legal consultation and mediation consultation. As a State of California employee, you're entitled to 1 30-minute session per legal issue. That 30-minute session can be either face-to-face or by telephone. If after that initial 30-minute session you need to retain the attorney, you can do so at a 25% reduction in that attorney's fees. The types of legal issues covered include personal and family law, civil and consumer issues, financial matters such as bankruptcy, real estate, business legal services, criminal matters, IRS matters such as an audit or if you have a balance due, and estate planning advice. The EAP does not cover legal issues between you and your employer, the State of California. It does not cover legal representation in court, and this 30-minute session does not cover review or preparation of legal documentation. This may be done after the initial 30-minute session at a reduced fee.
Financial consultations are done over the telephone and may last up to an hour per session with an unlimited number of sessions. In these sessions, we can assess your financial situation and help you make a personal budget and deal with things like compulsive spending, how to get a copy of your credit report, setting personal financial goals, and discuss the pros and cons of filing for personal bankruptcy. This financial consultation is provided by MHN Associates who are certified in various financial areas necessary to handle your needs. However, MHN does not give investment advice.
Pre-retirement consultations are done over the telephone and may last up to an hour per session with an unlimited number of sessions. This offers you the opportunity to examine your current financial status and your retirement goals. We will look at financial issues, lifestyle issues, and how your plans will impact other family members. If you are being audited by the IRS or have overdue federal taxes, you may want to take advantage of our federal taxpayer consultation. With this, you get 3 30-minute sessions per year per family. This is not a tax preparation service. This is specifically for IRS problems where you're being audited or owe taxes. For child and elder care issues, you may receive a telephone consultation to help you assess your needs, locate available community resources, and evaluate and monitor care.
Organizing Life's Affairs is a unique service that includes unlimited 1-hour telephone sessions and an inventory packet to help you create an inventory of the valuable and important things in your home. It is designed to create an organized list of things like insurance policies, your will, passports, birth certificates, and other important documentation. This service will help you prepare for emergencies and also help someone else if they need to care for your estate. The concierge service is offered to help you find a service or product on your own. We will conduct an internet search and locate 3 to 5 vendors or businesses that offer the product or service you're looking for. We understand how busy you are, and to help you remain focused on the things that really matter, we can find these vendors for you.
In addition to the telephone and face-to-face services we discussed, MHN has a great website. This website functions much like many other websites you know. The first thing you'll need to do is register. Type in lowercase letters the company access code for the state of California, which is SOC. Then type your email address. Once you enter the website, you can view your EAP benefits, find a practitioner, or go to one of the other areas of emotional health, health and fitness, family and work, or financial and legal. Many people prefer the privacy and anonymity of a website to get self-help information.
So remember, all EAP services are accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by calling this 800 number or going to the MHN website. The state of California encourages you to take advantage of these great services to balance the issues in your work and personal life. This concludes the employee section. The supervisor section will begin in a moment. As a supervisor or manager, you will find that EAP can be a useful tool in managing your employees. EAP offers management consultations, suggested self-referrals, formal supervisor referrals, critical incident stress debriefings, and other management services.
You have access to EAP for confidential consultation regarding employee issues. Some of the reasons you might call us for consultation include performance problems or conduct issues, employee conflicts, substance abuse, or violence in the workplace. EAP also offers Critical Incident Stress Debriefing, or CISD. This is an on-site individual or group counseling service to help employees cope with a critical incident. A critical incident is an unexpected event in the workplace that causes trauma to one or more employees, such as robbery, a death, or a terrorist act. The CISD is designed to lessen long-term effects of the trauma and help prevent residual problems. Consult with your Human Resources Representative or EAP coordinator to obtain approval for a CISD. There are 3 types of EAP referrals. One is the self-referral. In this situation, the employee calls EAP on his own to seek help with a problem. The second type of EAP referral is the suggested self-referral. Here, a supervisor or manager may suggest to an employee that he seek EAP to help with personal issues that may be impacting work performance. The third type is the formal supervisor referral. This is a management tool used to improve work performance and resolve work-related problems. It is not intended as a disciplinary measure, nor does it replace the state of California's policies and procedures for dealing with poor performance or conduct. Instead, it is a way to offer the employee some additional help.
As a supervisor, you would make a formal supervisor referral when an employee's performance or conduct has deteriorated over time. Perhaps you may have already intervened, but the employee had an inadequate response to your intervention. If there is a state or departmental policy about a particular performance issue that you are experiencing, the EAP referral may be mandatory. See your Human Resources Officer for details on such issues.
Chris, hi, do you have a minute?
Sure, come on in.
Thanks. I want to talk to you about Neil.
Why, what's going on?
Well, as you may recall, he had some performance issues about 6 months ago.
I remember he was coming in late, turning in his reports incomplete. Didn't you advise him to call EAP?
Yes, I did.
Thought that Neil's performance had improved.
It did.
And now?
Recently, his work has declined again, and he's absent a lot or is several hours late. He's become difficult to work with, and I'm not sure how to handle this situation.
Well, it sounds like you need to make a formal referral to the Employee Assistance Program. But I think it may be helpful for you to call EAP first and talk to someone.
How can EAP help me?
EAP has management consultants who can help you assess the situation and recommend a plan of action. If necessary, the consultant can go over all the steps of making a formal supervisor referral.
Well, that sounds good. Have you ever called them for a management issue?
Yes, I've called management consultations several times, and it really helped to have an objective listener to bounce my ideas off of.
What if I don't agree with the counselor's assessment?
You don't have to take their suggestions. They listen to your concerns and help work on a solution, and it's confidential. Let me get you something. Here's the supervisor's handbook. You might want to take a look at that before you give him a call.
Thanks, I will. But what if Neil doesn't call EAP?
It's strictly voluntary, but regardless of what Neil decides, it's important that you continue to monitor his performance. You need to clearly document the EAP referral and any changes in Neil's performance, just in case we need to take disciplinary action.
Okay.
Don't forget, the state's disciplinary process can occur at the same time as an EAP referral. We have a progressive disciplinary process, and like EAP, the objective is to improve the employee's performance. Why don't you also call Sharon in Human Resources and tell her what's happening? I'll bet she'll have some good suggestions. You might even want to ask her to review the steps of the disciplinary process with you.
That's a good idea. Thanks, Chris.
Sure. Let me know how things go.
If you think that one of your employees is in a situation that could benefit from EAP, you should first observe and document conduct or performance issues. Make sure that your documentation is clear and that it includes specific details about each event, such as the date and time. Then discuss these issues with the state personnel analyst and with the management consultant at MHN, your EAP provider. This ensures that you will have support in the actions you are about to take, and it is also helpful in determining the source of the problem. The MHN management consultant will provide assistance in planning the employee referral meeting too.
Hello, State of California Employee Assistance Program. This is Charles speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Charles. I'm a supervisor with the state of California, and I need to speak with someone about an employee.
Certainly. Let me connect you with a management consultant. One moment, please.
Hello, this is Lorraine Jones, management consultant. How may I help you?
Hi, Lorraine. My name is Jessica. I'm a supervisor with the state, and I'm calling because I have some concerns about an employee.
Hi, Jessica. I'm glad you called EAP. Before we discuss your concerns, let me tell you what's involved in an EAP management consultation.
Okay.
First, we'll talk briefly about your concerns, and I'll help you evaluate the situation. While I can make recommendations and offer advice and support, it's really up to you to decide how to handle it. I'll be keeping a record of our conversation, so should you need further assistance, this will help us pick up where we left off today.
Okay, I'm comfortable with that.
All right, let's start with the employee's first name.
His name is Neil.
Now, to help me in the event you make a formal supervisor referral, I need some information that will help us identify Neil when he calls.
Okay, I have that information right here. His name is Neil Smith.
Great, now tell me what's going on. Let's talk about his work performance.
Well, he's been a member of my staff for about 3 years now. And 6 months ago, he began missing deadlines and was absent a lot. Things just didn't seem right.
Have you spoken to Neil about this?
Yes, we met informally and I let him know that his performance wasn't acceptable. In fact, I even gave him the number of EAP and encouraged him to use it. His work improved for a while. I don't know what's changed, but lately his performance has really declined.
What have you noticed?
Well, over the last 2 months, he's been late 5 times. When he's at work, he seems distracted, he makes a lot of mistakes, and he's missed so many deadlines. His coworkers are coming to me and saying he's impossible to work with, and I've experienced this myself.
Can you give me an example?
Okay. For instance, last week, I asked him for a report that was past due. He got very angry and told me he was working on it and that it was a coworker's fault he couldn't get his information together. Well, I followed up on his complaint and found it to be untrue. When I tried to discuss this with him again, he got very angry and stormed away. People just don't want to work with him anymore.
It sounds like he's creating a disruptive work environment.
He is. Is having a bad attitude a work performance issue?
If his conduct is making it difficult for others to do their job, absolutely. Have you been documenting these work performance problems?
Yes, I started keeping notes on the latest incidents.
That's good. It's important that you carefully document each incident in the event disciplinary action becomes necessary. And good documentation will also help you explain your concerns to Neil by providing specific examples of poor performance or conduct. And it will let him know that you're taking the situation seriously. You should be sure to include the date, the time, the specifics of each incident, including what was expected of Neil and how he did not meet your expectations. Actual job performance and behavioral changes, as well as attendance problems, should also be documented.
Okay, I'll do that. Then what?
You'll need to write a formal supervisor referral letter. Then you'll need to meet with Neil and refer him to EAP.
Wait, what's a formal supervisor referral letter?
It's a letter that describes Neil's performance and conduct problems and officially refers him to EAP. You suggested he use EAP once. Now you're formally referring him. When you meet with Neil, you'll have to show him the letter as part of the referral process. If he decides to go to EAP, then you have him sign the referral letter. Keep the original for yourself and fax a copy to me.
That seems like a lot of work.
Well, I can make it easier for you by faxing you a copy of a sample letter to follow.
I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
When you would like to formally refer an employee to EAP, you must write a formal supervisor referral letter. This must contain several key pieces of information. First, identify the employee. Then, cite the specific performance or conduct issue. For example, excessive tardiness or conflict with other employees. In the next paragraph, explain that participating in this referral to EAP is completely voluntary and that whether the employee accepts the referral or not, that you will still monitor performance. If the employee's performance or conduct does not improve, you may take the appropriate disciplinary action. Then assure the employee that EAP is confidential. Information about the employee's EAP visit can only be given to you with the employee's written consent. The counselor will provide a consent form. The only information MHN will give the supervisor is whether or not the employee contacted EAP and attended the first appointment. Nothing about the content of the sessions will be discussed with the supervisor. Also mention the time frame within which the employee is required to contact EAP, usually within 5 business days. Next, write that this letter will not be put into the employee's official personnel file. Once the letter is signed, you'll make a copy and send it to the MHN consultant and keep the original in your own confidential file. Most importantly, at the end of the letter, leave a place for the employee to indicate whether he or she accepts or declines the EAP referral and have the employee sign the letter.
Now it's time to schedule a meeting with the employee. This must be an open and honest meeting where first and foremost you explain how valued the employee is and that you are concerned. Describe the specific performance and conduct issues at hand. Have written documentation including the formal referral letter and give a copy to the employee. Avoid analyzing, diagnosing, or labeling the employee, and do not try to solve his or her personal problems. That is what EAP is for. Instead, show confidence and respect in your employee by expecting him or her to take responsibility for managing his or her own problems, and state clearly your expectation that the job performance and conduct will improve.
Neil, I want to talk to you about some concerns I have about your work performance.
I thought we already had this discussion.
Well, after you and I met several months ago, you made a lot of progress. You came to work consistently, your work performance improved, you met deadlines, and you treated everyone with respect.
So why do we need to talk again?
Because your work performance has really declined recently, and I'm very concerned about that.
What are you talking about?
I can't count on you to meet your deadlines anymore or do quality work. In fact, over the past 2 months, I've documented 6 occasions where you didn't get the report to me on time. And your attitude has been very difficult to deal with. Even your coworkers are saying they're having a hard time working with you.
That is not my fault. Charles is the one who's been hard to work with. He hasn't been getting me what I need, and I can't do my work when I don't have what I need.
Now wait a minute. Charles gets you the information every Wednesday morning. That's a reasonable amount of lead time to complete your work on time. And Neil, I'm also concerned about your continued pattern of absenteeism and tardiness. You've been several hours late to work 5 times in 2 months.
That's not true.
Well, here, take a look at the notes I've made about your performance.
I can explain these.
Neil, this is a real problem, and I'm sure every one of these incidents has a good explanation, but I will reiterate what I told you during our first meeting. This is not acceptable performance.
I don't know what to say.
Well, the purpose of today's meeting is to let you know that your performance problems are serious. Now, you're a valuable employee, Neil. I've seen the work you're capable of. You've worked well with team members in the past. You did high-quality work, and it was delivered on time.
Well, to be honest with you, there has been some personal stuff going on.
I thought there might be. I'm sorry to hear that. During our last meeting, I suggested you might want to call EAP.
EAP? What's that again?
It's the Employee Assistance Program. It's a resource offered by the state to help you deal with personal problems that might be impacting your job performance. The services are confidential and free of charge. Now, since your job performance has gotten worse, I'm making a formal supervisor referral to EAP. Here's a letter that outlines your work performance and refers you to EAP.
What? A referral?
Now, it's up to you to accept or decline this referral. It's confidential. The counselor will ask you to sign a limited release of information. The purpose of the limited release of information is to help me evaluate your motivation to correct the issues causing your performance problems. When you sign the release, EAP will let me know whether or not you attended the first EAP session, if a corrective action plan was developed by the counselor, and whether or not you agreed with the plan and will follow through with the recommendations.
And what if I don't want to call EAP?
It's your choice. EAP can help you address your problems, but it's up to you to improve your job performance. If you don't make an effort, I may be forced to pursue disciplinary action.
Well, it has been a tough couple of months. Maybe I can call EAP and see if they can help.
I need you to sign this referral letter and indicate your acceptance.
Okay, I'll sign it. What do I need to do next?
Well, you need to call EAP and ask for Lorraine Jones. She's expecting your call. You can reach her at the 800 number on this card. I've asked Lorraine to let me know whether or not you make an appointment.
I thought you said this was confidential.
It is. EAP has strict confidentiality rules. Your discussions with your counselor will not be shared with me or anyone else.
Oh, okay.
Let me say again, you're a valuable employee, Neil. You've done good work. I want to see your job performance turn around, and that's why I'm recommending EAP.
Well, that means a lot to me. Thanks.
Now, my expectation is that you'll immediately work on improving your attitude and attendance and stay focused and meet your deadlines.
Okay.
Oh, I'd also like to meet with you once a week for about a month to see how things are going. Does that sound reasonable?
I guess so.
Good. Let's have our first meeting on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Come to my office then and we'll review your week's work. You can tell me if there are any difficulties you're having and I'll give you feedback on your performance.
Okay. Maybe regular meetings can help me stay focused.
Great. See you Wednesday, Neil.
After meeting with your employee, advise your MHN consultant whether your employee has accepted or refused the referral and provide any new information that you've obtained during the meeting. By referring your employee to EAP, you can expect that the counselor will identify the employee's problems, develop a plan for the employee to handle the issues and improve work performance, and refer the employee to other resources as necessary to deal with the identified issues. By using the formal supervisor referral process, you will have identified and faced a problem rather than ignore it or manage around it. You will have handled it with clarity and compassion by offering EAP counseling services, and you'll have fulfilled your responsibilities to the state of California, the unit you supervise, your employee, and yourself.
Let's review the steps in the formal supervisor referral process. First, observe and document the performance and conduct of the employee. Then discuss the problem with your department's human resources officer. Contact MHN to discuss the situation with a management consultant and plan the formal referral. Prepare a formal referral letter. Then meet with the employee to discuss his or her situation and make the referral. On the referral letter, note whether the employee accepts or declines the referral. Continue to document the employee's job performance, conduct, etc. If no progress is made, follow appropriate disciplinary procedures. Your supervisor handbook has more detail to help you, including samples of the formal referral letter and release of information form. By following this process, you will have successfully referred an employee to EAP and offered the tools for that employee to deal with personal issues that might be affecting job performance. For further assistance, please contact your Human Resources Officer, MHN, or the state's website. You can always reach EAP at 866-EAP-4SOC or 866-327-4762.